Alright kids, welcome to the Roundhouse Roundup episode 3. If you watched Mark's latest episode of Rated M, you know that he and I were at the King of Fighters Underground tournament in Hollywood. I have a lot to say about that later, but first let's just jump right into the news. First news is in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I was wrong. Online play is confirmed for the United States release. And we're losing a character. Due to licensing constraints, the genie character, whose name I can't remember, he's being removed. Which may be a good idea, because if you've seen that character, he looks really racist. It's... maybe that's just me, but I saw him and I went, I don't like that. Doesn't look good. So it's good, maybe, that he got dropped. On the bonus side, we're getting a character to replace him, not revealed at this time, and 4 more characters on top of that. So we're getting 2 on the Capcom side and 3 on the Tatsunoko side. So, awesome. Online play means you should buy. Assuming the online play is good, we don't know with the Wii and all, but we've also heard that friend codes are not going to happen in this release. We're not going to get friend codes. We don't need them. Big news, big news. Other news, the upcoming Soul Calibur for PSP has a guest character. Just like every other Soul Calibur has guest characters, this game has Kratos from God of War. And he's got a lot of nice ranged attacks. A lot of his combos remind me of the actual God of War game. However, it's still Soul Calibur 4 for PSP, just with that new character with the twirly mustache and Kratos, so I'm still passing on this one. What else is coming out? We've got some news on Tekken. Tekken Force is back, everyone's favorite mode from Tekken 3, and it's going to have some co-op, possibly online. I want to talk about King of Fighters 12. Finally got to play it, and here are my thoughts. What the fuck? So, King of Fighters 11 is kind of a complex game. Got a lot of moves for all the characters. You jump into King of Fighters 12 and everyone's lost everything. For example, Clark, who looks like a guy on steroids, has his grab, and the elbow drop after the grab, and the mash punch to do punch up, you know, like this thing, only higher and not stupid looking. That's his entire moveset. Oh, and his super. Kyo does not have his punches. He does not have his punches. They're gone. A lot of the characters have lost a lot of their moves. Iori is an exception. We knew Iori was getting a massive overhaul due to the storyline that, spoiler alert, Ash jacked his flames. Although in this game, Ash's flames are still green and not purple. Ash is mostly the same. He doesn't have his command attack, but he has, if you do quarter circle back in a punch, he throws a flame ball out. It reminds me a lot of Marin, her ability to throw out the yo-yos. So that's the style of the game as far as the mechanics. There's actually some neat things going on. There's a super meter, but there's also this thing called the critical counter meter. It goes up more when you take hits, sort of like the burst meter from Guilty Gear. And here's how it works. When it fills up, a bunch of stuff on your side will start flashing. And what that means is, if you get a counter hit with your counterattack, which for most characters is standing hard punch, for a couple it's standing hard kick, you initiate this crazy combo. It's like a custom combo from Street Fighter. Everything stops for a second, and then you can just go crazy on them. You can basically link anything to anything. I've seen some really neat stuff, but it's just a lot of fun. It's really satisfying. Even if you just mash on the buttons, you can get some really good damage out of it. Graphics are great. Animation is a little better than Blaze Blue. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be in action, but it was fine. I did get to see Mature and Elizabeth in action. Elizabeth is pretty much the same. And Mature fights a little more compact, but has some moves that look familiar like you would expect. So let's just talk about the tournament itself. They were hyping for weeks that you needed to get there early, because they're going to fill up and they're worried about fire marshals. Not quite. At one point it got to the point where they couldn't find enough people to fill all 128 slots on the tournament, so anyone could just walk in. You could walk into the thing. It was not full. They had free food and drink all night. They had a cheese platter, and they had this great salsa. And free drinks. Had Diet Cokes all night. They had a little booth where they had people from I Am 8-Bit doing old Nintendo and Intellivision. and they had a booth where you could get fake makeup of wounds and bruises, and they had a booth where you could get your picture taken. I have something to show you. This is me. This is me and my sweetie doing some stuff. And get a picture taken, and they'd put the life bars and stuff over it. It was a lot of fun. We did the tournament, and I thought I was going to do well. Obviously, if you've seen Rated M, you know I finished last. I lost in the first round. It really hurts when you know, because King of Fighters has a huge Mexican fan base. You know you're in trouble when the guy you're facing says, "I don't speak English." You know you're screwed. His lockdown with Daimon was great. His Kyo, good player. Forget his name. His first name is Christian, but you know, there's always someone better. But it wasn't a total loss. I was acting kind of like a jerk, not a jerk, but like a loudmouth kind of a guy. Plus, Rachel got me a carnation, which I was sniffing up like this the whole time. So Shane Bettenhausen says, "Ted, get up on stage. I have something to give you," and I win this. It's a my figure, King of Fighters 97. Then later, the raffle didn't work out because they forgot to actually tear off the other piece of the raffle tickets, so that they decided instead of doing a raffle, they would just throw things. So this landed in front of me. Got an Itoha right here. Samurai Showdown. Then they had a trivia competition, and they said, oh, it's going to be a hard one. From Garou, Mark of the Wolves, there's a fighter named Kushnud Butt. And of course, the next part of the question is, that's not his real name. What's his real name? And I shout Marco Rodriguez, because, come on, we all know what's coming. So I win 2 mugs. Here's one of them. Let me unbox it. Right, Alex? Unboxing? So here's the unboxing. Ooh. It's a Garou. Here's Terry. And here's Rock. I was going to say Rio, but that's Rock. So I just did my first unboxing. On top of that, for some reason they called me up for a cosplay competition. Do not know why they did. Was not cosplaying. And even though I lost, I won this Athena figure. Okay, so this is the unboxing, and it's in tape, and I'm not ready to take it out yet. But let me just show you the boxes of each of them. Well, that was a fail unboxing, right? Unboxing fail. There's your very first unboxing fail. We got this Athena. We have this Leona. And we have this Terry. So it was kind of fun. The whole event was kind of fun. They had the first trailer for the King of Fighters movie. Excuse me while I kind of burp in my mouth a little bit as I think about that. Sorry, it doesn't look good, guys. It doesn't look good. But, you know, King of Fighters, some parts of it looked pretty awesome. I mean, the fighting. I mean, hopefully they don't talk, you know. That's just not going to work out. We also, honestly, it was just kind of a fun, chill night after a while. The staffers got really, really drunk. I met the president of Ignition, and he was fun to talk to. And I talked a lot to Shane Bettenhausen, and he seems really excited about what's coming up. They're actually very concerned about how the online play is going to come off. And I said, if it's anything like King of Fighters 2003 on Xbox, you got nothing to worry about. That game was the smoothest game until Street Fighter HD Remix came out. And SNK knows how to do their netcode. Little tidbit, the game is not going to come out on July 7th like previously speculated. I can confirm that the game is going to be delayed for an unspecified amount of time. This is a good thing. This means Blaze Blue will get a little more time in your disk drive. Do still recommend that game and following it. The first US console play for that was just shown recently, and we've got the English voices, and they sound okay, I guess. Could be a little too repetitive. We'll see what happens with it as far as the rest of the voices. But it's looking pretty good. That's it for this week on the Roundhouse Roundup. Tomorrow I'll be at E3. I'm going to get some hands-on play with Tatsunoko vs. Capcom with some good players. And any other news I find, I'll bring back to you. Until then, this is your source for news, reviews, previews, views, and ews on the pugilistic world of punching.